Sadiq Khan has overseen more tube strikes than the previous two London mayors combined, despite promising an end to strikes if he was elected. Tomorrow Transport for London workers will walk out in their 52nd day of industrial action since Mr. Khan was first elected to City Hall. Members of the Rail, Maritime and Transport Union (RMT) will strike for 24 hours in a deadlock dispute over jobs, pensions and conditions. It is the second day in a week action has been taken, with a stoppage on Tuesday leading to the tube being suspended during the rush hour, with only a few services running later in the day. Disruption continued on this morning, with a knock-on impact on services expected on Friday as well. In contrast to Mr. Khan's record over the past 5.5 years, Boris Johnson and Ken Livingstone oversaw 51 strikes between them over a 16-year period. The damning record comes despite the incumbent promising an end to strike action when he was first seeking election in 2016. He described walkouts as a sign of failure as he pledged to Londoners to keep tube services on track. Mr. Khan said at the time, "Strikes are ultimately a sign of failure. Every day there's a strike, it causes huge misery and inconvenience to Londoners. As mayor, what I do is roll up my sleeves and make sure that I'm talking to everyone who runs public transport to make sure there are 0 days of strikes." The RMT fears that spending cuts linked to a funding deal by the government will lead to hundreds of job losses, reduced pensions and worse working conditions. TfL has advised people to work from home if they can on Thursday, saying there are likely to be no tube services. Andy Lord, TfL's chief operating officer, said, "I would ask anyone who needs to use the tube on Thursday to check before they make their journey, consider whether they are able to work from home and use alternative modes of transport where possible. It's highly unlikely there will be an underground service running during the strike action and, if any service is provided, it will not continue into the evening. Services will also be severely impacted until mid-morning on Friday, March 4 because of a number of factors including the placement of drivers and trains following a day without service."